Hello and welcome back to Tales of Arise. My name is Renans, and last time we kind of continued on with the story. We walked forward and found that Dohalim's like little girlfriend person who really hated his gust. It's there, but she seems to be mind controlled. Some of this large ass Zoogle, and we kind of beat it and kind of knock her out. And his other friend who has glasses ended up being like, I heard everything. I'll take her home. Don't worry about it. So we continue on just to go to the different places that we've actually been to before, but as Alphen 300 years ago. This includes like a room that had a lot of data, giving us a lot of exposition about sovereigns and finding out that Volron, what is a sovereign through experimentation, meaning that he is Dahnan. And in addition, we also kind of found the altar where the ceremony was done, and we got some new drip. That's right, we now have essentially, it's called Sovereign and Maiden, Alphen and Shion, but it's they're about to get married. And then we kind of continue just to find that Volron is still alive, and he's actually trapped here, doing some ceremony with some weird maiden thing in a room. And as we're about to, reach out for the Renans Alma, we find the Red Woman, 3 of them. And they all turn into this weird thing, and then we kind of end up fighting it. It was a pretty difficult battle, but we kind of ended up getting through it. And afterwards, Volron's like, I am awake. I will kill all of you. And then another Red Woman comes up. He's like, tell your master I'm gonna freaking kill you. And then the place kind of blows up. And now we're, it seemed like at one point we were gonna get separated from Shion, but that did not happen. And now we're kind of trying to make it back to the entrance. So, yeah, I think we're, if there are any side quests that show up, I'm probably gonna try to do them. But at the moment, we're gonna try to get out of here first. So it seems like you can't teleport, so we gotta do this manually. Oh boy! Okay, this is so far not too bad. I can just run around most of these, though I don't know about all of them. Yep, like that. Alright, cool. I think I only had one fight, so yeah, that wasn't too bad. Okay, let's see how Lenegis is now that we've kind of destroyed a portion of the city, even though it's a portion of the city that no one really knows. The structural integrity of this place was kind of terrible anyways. Oh, it's nighttime.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
Oh, she's awake again.
You two. Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
That is something I would have done anyways, even if I weren't mind controlled.
So she really was being controlled.
No shit.
He told me about Tarnigan too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
Thank God for that,
friend. It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration still a way off.
Oh, damn.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Gosh, should we tell him how everything's a lie?
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Unfortunately,
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd—
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Oh, we're not going to Rena
feed
yet.
on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust.
Dohalim?
That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Dohalim.
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Alfin?
Correct.
Or Dohalim?
The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then.
Wait, what do you mean the only one left? That's what people in
Avakir,
Lenegis should say.
You mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Oh, we're gonna get a grand speech.
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
God, please help us.
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on!
Oh my god, he's so
in the crown
hot!
contest. Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you
Top
feel
one
abandoned,
engineer.
perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Alright, bye. Oh! Systems are brought back. I think. Damn, he worked fast. Avakir. So they have a controlled
Your speech
weather
seems
system.
to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
Did you know the Sovereign is a...
It can't all have
is
been...
a Dahnan?
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
God damn it, I didn't want this!
You? You can't be serious.
I have my own place to rule.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking.
Ah, a new dawn.
One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things.
Like music.
Things like...
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept turn against death.
Okay.
To see a future.
I was afraid that she was gonna break. So, it's nice to see that she's learned to accept
You go finish whatever
everything.
it is you've got
So
to do.
Dohalim can also accept
I'll hold
it.
down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
That's
I guess you're
gotta
not going to
be,
make it
like-
to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
It's gotta be a weight off Dohalim's shoulders.
Indeed.
A lot.
Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
That is true.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Oh, that's connected
Remember,
to what Kisara
you're going
said
to be
before.
leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Okay. Dohalim? Renan leader. Ah, it feels like we're really reaching like almost the end game for a lot of this. Yes, healing arts, evasion. Yes, I don't know what this is, but that sounds cool.
Looks like the people of
Alright.
Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Specifically
Hey,
you,
you're the
Law.
one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
I did something. Hoodle did something. One's own master.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think
He
I
was
can
so
relate.
ready to die, man.
I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master, that's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say.
True. He did
Zephyr
say that.
taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
Zephyr was a really big part in Alphen's ideology, which is why he's able to essentially function despite all the stuff that's happened to him in the past. Well, we have another one, which is wiping the slate.
How long have you known
Known what?
about the darkness I carry inside me? You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Dark
Why ask
astral
me now?
energy.
What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Oh yeah, I've had enough of those competitions. God damn it. Leaving the nest.
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Yes.
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
Definitely a smile.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
Aw, it's the girls.
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
He's gonna leave me.
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Mommy!
Rinwell's right.
Even they're
You're
saying
like a
it.
mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
I love how everyone agrees that Kisara is just mommy. Okay, it seems like we're gonna get a lot of new people here. We still can't teleport, but there's gonna be a whole lot more dialogue now. So let's talk to everyone. All right. If his lordship assures us that there's nothing to worry about, that's good enough for me. Well, I guess life is just a little bit easier for some people than others. Oh, Lord Dohalim. Okay, okay, that was it. I
What do you
gotta
say we check back in on the ranch?
I gotta replenish a lot of my... Wait, what do you say? Okay. Do my eyes deceive me, or has my shop... No, never mind, it's the same thing. Give me life bottles, please. All your life bottles. And, oh, we got some money back too. Nice. We got some people here. Lord Dohalim, oh, God damn it. Even after so many episodes. Dohalim, what a splendid fellow he is. I met him once as a kid. He was a completely different person back then. I'm still shaken up by his speech. What he said was practically a denial of the order that the lords and sovereigns are supposed to stand for. That is true. He's like, screw the sovereign. Let us make our own choices. So that's all it was. Oh, what a relief to know. Yeah, sure. I've seen a lot in my old age, but even I would have never imagined there'd be a lord who would end up saving the day for Lenegus. It's going to take time before the residential quarters are repaired, but at least for now, the city is calm again. Still, to see him taking charge instead of the sovereign, perhaps he's the winner of the crown contest this time around. You are technically correct. Oh god, yeah, I forgot this place was also kind of huge. Originally, I thought we would be able to teleport back, and the caveat was going to be that there were going to be a lot of side quests that would show up because people need help now, but that's not the case. There's been a lot of damage, but now that the power's back, I'm hopeful that things are going to be okay. His Excellency Lord Dohalim urges us all to work together. We should think about what we can do to help the city. Just like that, Lord Dohalim managed to completely dispel people's fears. That's what makes him a lord. Yeah, nobody will think twice about trying to pull anything funny now. He's so wonderful. It'd be nice if His Excellency remained so that he can continue to lead and guide us, because I don't want to make any choices myself. I do kind of wonder about Rena, because they kind of shipped all of the winners of the crown contest there. Is it even possible that we might see, like, other crown contest winners? Like the quote-unquote current sovereign? I'm glad to see Lord Dohalim has restored peace and order to Lenegus. I'd expect nothing less from one of our very own lords. I guess we had nothing to worry about after all. The thing about, like, sovereign and whatnot, they had to have sense. Like, did they kill him? Or did they just, like, you know, send him there to do other stuff, not sovereign stuff? Because I generally don't know. Father, what did Lord Dohalim mean when he said solidarity in his speech? To be honest, I'm not at all certain as to what he meant either. But I believe it was his way of telling us to look past our class differences and work together to rebuild the city. Class differences? You mean forgetting about people's castes and family lineages? That's right, son. That's the wisdom of a lord for you. We would all do well to reflect on it. I mean, we did see that, like, asshole and that, like, old man where he's like, yes, just carve the way for me so I can, you know, go back home because screw you. I wonder if they're still gonna be here. It's astonishing how quickly His Excellency Lord Dohalim was able to restore calm simply by showing solidarity with people during a major crisis. He's a lord whom comes from House Ilkaris, yes? I must admit, some of the things he said were pretty radical. Maybe, but he also looked dignified and full of confidence. He's what every Renan should aspire to be, if you ask me. So all the Renans here look like they have like this similar clothing. Why does Lord Dohalim look so different? Oh, that guy does not have anything new, okay. And what about this group? Didn't you hear what Lord Dohalim said? Stop fighting this instant. Forgive me. It wasn't my intention to go against His Excellency's wishes. Sir, are you alright? You're not hurt anywhere, are you? Should you be talking to me? I come from a lower caste, you know. Nonsense. Just as His Excellency said so brilliantly, the city is in a crisis. We must all put aside our differences and help one another. I love this. This was the asshole I was talking about. This asshole who was like, old man, get yourself in trouble. I mean, get yourself in danger so I don't have to. And now they're like, bitch, please. I'm so glad to see that things are slowly turning back to normal. Me too. It's a good thing that Lord Dohalim took charge when he did. But something concerns me. How could the Sovereign be indisposed, as he put it? And what was he doing here in Lenegis instead of Dahna? Most likely, he came to here at the behest of the Sovereign to help put an end to the situation. That must be it. Otherwise, he'd have to have some sort of explanation for why he left his post. Oh god, they're starting to doubt him. I mean, I can understand why they doubt him, because he's not supposed to be here, but... Oh man, they're just really slow on the news uptake. Oh, the other lords are gone? Oh! I forgot about this zone. How are we not authorized personnel? We have Dohalim here. This is totally gonna be something. You can see like, yeah, path form, I think. I think it curves down. Okay. I feel a lot better after hearing Lord Dohalim talk to everyone. Yes, yes, his magnificent, wonderful voice. Is this the last one? No, there's still another area. It's a really big-ass area. Actually, no. That person had nothing to say. Onwards to the residential zone 16. Jeez. Okay, so we still have a whole bunch, but after that, that will be the takeoff point. So yeah, we're almost officially done with Lenegis. Injured man. It seems like the Zoogles are under control again, thankfully. I have no idea what caused them to go berserk, but everything should be resolved soon. I never noticed this chest. An orange jar. Who would have ever thought an acting lord would step in and fix the problem? But is it really safe for him to be away from his realm? It's unusual to be sure, but the Lord Dohalim explained the situation well. I, for one, am grateful that he was there to help us. True. Lord Dohalim, god damn it, Dohalim was amazing. Everyone was so scared, but he calmed everyone down in a flash. I've never seen a lord until today. He looks so noble. He sure did. There's a reason why everyone admires our lords and wants to grow up to be just like them. Aww. Oh man, that guy is like, I don't know if it's right, but he's kind of giving me like Aldo Menencia vibes, which are always kind of nice compared to everywhere else. It seems like less and less injured are coming in. I can focus on treating those that need it now. Oh god, there are just a whole bunch of kids in need. Here, around the corner, we have, oh, just like His Excellency Lord Dohalim promised, the reactor's fixed. The city is safer now. Yes, believe in the Lord Dohalim. Oh, I realized some of the people, like, they don't have any new dialogue. It's because they're the people that talked about the other lords. So you can still get their opinion if you know, like, still revisit their opinion if you need it. I was surprised to hear that the city's core reactor was behind all that trouble. The situation seems to be under control now. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Anyways, to the spaceship. I wonder how hard it's gonna be to go to Rena. This spaceship is still super cool, but like, I wonder how there's oxygen. Or maybe in this universe, you don't really need that, I don't know.
thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
True.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too.
So
like
many,
figuring out how to
Jesus.
reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
We didn't stop for gas. Do we have enough?
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renasalma. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
No! We're so underleveled.
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should...
Oh, jeez.
What?
Oh, jeez. I was looked away for a second. I didn't notice. Oh, God. They're all gonna big bang attack us. How many of these red women are there? Like, I knew there was gonna be a lot, but... Oh, no. They're gonna blow up our ship. No! We need that! This is why you gotta stop talking, man! Oh, they're just gonna warp it away. There are like 15 of them or something. If we're such a threat, you'd be I'm kind of surprised that like they're not attacking us. With that many people, they can easily overpower us. Oh, jeez. I guess we're not going to Rena. Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's
that? Oh crap.
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
I forgot we were already in the ship, so they teleported
bad, right?
us.
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
Oh god. The planet's moving! Oh shit! I don't think that's how planets work, man. Is the planet firing a laser? Oh shit. All right. This is getting out of hand, man. So Rena was never like a fully blown planet. It's something else. What the fuck? I guess Rena was just, a seed, and now it got enough energy to bloom.
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dahna's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
Flower of Oblivion.
Oh, she knows it. It's a rose, and the rose has thorns, of course! God damn it!
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I'm not an engineer, I'm a lord!
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dahna die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
We are the protagonists, we must win.
Alphen.
Oh god.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
Well, I guess we didn't get to choose our next destination. Are we still gonna be sucked into Rena? Because that'd be helpful. No, it seems. Is that Lenegis? I mean, Lenegis. If that's Lenegis, that looks all jacked up. Because I don't think that is actually. It looks very different. Structurally, it's kind of similar though.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Yeah.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Maybe they're trying to save you.
Hey,
Maybe
Shion!
it's the previous lords?
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
I forgot. They keep showing Kisara's butt. I haven't used this armor in like a while. Out of reach.
Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
You dumb.
No. What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people. Does it ever get lonely sometimes?
Dude!
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms.
She said it like 50 times!
It was either accept it for what it was or come undone.
She said she was always alone, yes!
Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern.
We'll solve this problem
Until
real
I get
quick.
rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Aw, that's the right mindset to have.
Just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll
Properly
see.
optimistic.
I promise.
Damn, that was stupid though. Lightening the mood.
Boo!
Ah! What the? Are you out of your
your mind? This isn't the time for
It
games,
just occurred to me.
Rinwell!
Hoodle, the first
Come
owl
on.
in space.
How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
See, so it's your fault.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. If I pull up the map, we are currently in... And, oh god. It's not even... Yeah, it's not even in the other section. Well, we did say the summoning. Okay, I guess we're gonna summon something.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
Maybe it's a little bit too hot.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dahna, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours.
Yeah, that was a huge surprise
Still, though,
for me.
I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dahna. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
Go find out
They must
afterwards.
be here somewhere. Let's find them.
You'll find out after I do this next one, Keeping Calm.
That beam of light joining Dahna and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Dahnan side responded.
I think it was more
Perhaps
like the
it was some
wedge.
kind of directive from the
Yeah.
Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing.
Daddy?
So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah, there was something I wanted to mention when Dohalim was making a speech, but it's kind of ironic. I'm pretty sure I said this before. It's kind of ironic how the person who is probably going to end up ruling over Lenegis is the person who least wanted to take this position. Everyone else was like killing a whole lot of people, like getting a lot of energy in order to become the winner of the crown contest. But Dohalim was doing the exact opposite. He managed to be the winner. Woo! There was something about this that what just happened that I also kind of like wanted to mention, because it seems like we thought Rena was a planet, but it got astral energy back and grew into a flower. Maybe it was actually a seed and something's growing. Something's cooking there. I have no idea what it could be. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's the Thorn monster. That seems like it's gonna be the BBEG. But that's real weird, man. Oh, there are 3 levels. We can go anywhere too. Let's go to the lower level. Central. Okay, sure, Central. Is this a dungeon? So central level looks like that. That's where we're supposed to go. Can I go to the upper level? Nope, okay, not now. Okay, so this is a lot like Lenegis. Is it supposed to be like is Lenegis like the second version? This is like Lenegis 1.0? Like, I genuinely don't know what this could be. Whoa! That's like the same kind of structure or like vine-esque area as what was in the ceremony room.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Huh? What's that?
Oh, there's something in there. Oh, that's a red woman. Is it the red woman processing facility?
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move.
And the freaking red woman just creeps me out, man.
Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct.
Oh,
it is unusual for me to
jeez.
have unexpected guests these
They
days.
speak! Even more
talk.
exposition.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrek 35. Okay, Hevrek.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
I don't know! It just happened.
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
The Great
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way.
Hevrek 35 seems pretty cool.
Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Why is this guy
Do you
different?
think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
Exposition, here we go!
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil.
Helganquil.
The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Oh.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasal, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here.
Oh, so he's
Since
not
my
controlled.
sudden separation
Gotcha.
from the great spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dahna from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The great astral spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
Well, that's the will of Rena.
The voice of the great spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrek 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dahna is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's
Not
great
as
spirit.
strong.
Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dahna's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The
Fair.
Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dahna.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dahna?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest.
300 years ago.
Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dahna's astral energy would have been seized.
Oh shit.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renans Alma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling success. However, recreating the Renans Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dahna.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dahna.
This is all happening because of me.
I mean...
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
Alphen's blaming himself, but if that didn't happen, Dahna would be dead.
Was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
What's the reward, though?
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
Kill the god.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
Not my... Hashtag not my master.
It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dahna's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control?
Because it's
Why?
a dick!
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance?
Oh man, I'm glad they didn't give me
For
a
what?
mouth. I don't want to
In
animate
spite
this.
of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
If you do not, well, you die.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
2?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Phasal.
Hey! Hey!
Bye-bye, good night.
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
Sorry, I don't have much battery left. I gotta save it for later. Ooh, find the others. Oh man, that's kind of wild. Okay, if we look at this, it won't let me. It seems to manage Hevrecht 35's condition. A lot of vital sign stats are being displayed. Yeah, the guy is, he looks like he's on his last legs. Oh, jeez.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dahna, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dahna completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dahna.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
That is true.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
My assumption was that the Renans were manipulated by the Helganquil. And, you know, the planet is... The Rena doesn't have any Renans in it. It just has the Helganquil and the Great Astral Spirit. At least that's what I'm picking up. Let's go to the lower level. And then we'll go to the upper level later. Okay, so... Oh! We got a fast travel point that we cannot use. There seems to be a room out here in the back, so let's check that out first. Whoa, it seems to be a what is this actually? This is really similar to Lenegus. Yeah, I can understand why I got this confused at first. It is extremely similar. So we gotta keep going straight. I wonder if I go to the upper level, it'll be the same thing, because we're supposed to meet the others, but we don't really know what the others are. We're gonna see another Helganquil. He said he was the only model here, right? There are people here.
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
So these are the
others?
Are you a
Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Kind of? Oh, this is supposed to answer the Renan thing.
The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
Subjects?
Oh. What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevric 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dahna and Rena, do you?
We're all in the Matrix, man.
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
This is really wild, man. Oh, ho, ho. Okay, first person.
Have you guys lived up here in Dag Faisal with Hevric 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though.
Years get kind of weird when
We
you're
regularly
up in
go
space.
into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegus from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevric 35 ever since?
Was it Alfin?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Finally, we get an answer to that.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegus is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
Oh, it's been years since I've been infected,
sure,
you know?
I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrek 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegus? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
Everyone I know and love have died.
If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Okay, so that answered the thing about the Red Woman. I'm glad we got answers to that. The Overseer and I have a lot of lively debates on a whole host of topics. Politics, philosophy, science. I always enjoy them. Our perspective as members of a different species are so unique that it makes for intellectually stimulating conversation. I have to imagine the Overseer enjoys them as well. They make for an excellent way to stave off the monotony of Dak Faisal. Yeah, I mean, that guy seemed like... He seemed like one of those like smart people in anime. the Hevrek 35 who will just give you all the answers, wants to talk, but is also kind of awkward.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
I guess that's the experiment.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Rena?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Oh, silly child, there are no Renans there.
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Dahnans by the Helganquil.
Oh! Okay. That's not what I expected.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
That's what I expected.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Dahnans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight.
Shit.
Were you saying Renans were originally created from Dahnans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dahna now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
It's just his research.
I guess I can see how, and Viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque, but if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Oh my god, that was such a big bomb drop, bro. Oh, man.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
Still got one more NPC to talk to, man. I don't know about that. Oh, the craftsmanship that the Helganquil displays always astounds me. Whether it's the Zeugles, us Renans, or anything else for that matter. Ah, so, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, they made Zeugles? So that means we're definitely not done with fighting Zeugles. I have to imagine it would take our kind many generations before we'll arrive at their level of sophistication and expertise. This guy was like, well, we got a lot of information. That was pretty cool. So I don't really care. It appears to maintain constant monitoring to ensure nothing approaches Dak Faisal. I forgot how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna keep pronouncing it that way. Last person.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
Why?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes.
Wait, is that Zephyr's
voice?
voice?
To use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient.
Good point.
Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the
Also
solutions to
makes
those
sense.
problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
Oh.
We have a winner. However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans and Helganquil that day.
Oh, and Helganquil. Well, sorry about that.
For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps.
Oh, that explains
A
the
new
room.
Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevricht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
What's about to happen? Let us know, please.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
Okay, so that was the three of them.
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
The only
Let's
major
take a moment to gather
difference
ourselves.
is the eyes, right?
I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but
I think it's fair to say that we found the answers we've been looking for.
The eyes
Does everyone
glow.
agree?
If you're Renan, if you
Agreed.
use astral arts.
Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Dahnans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Dahnans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit.
Yeah, that's
Why
kind of...
don't we all take some time to think things over before we decide on our next move?
I am definitely
That's a
getting
good idea,
overloaded by
Kisara.
some kind of information.
If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dahna on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
But Shion has left your party.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Aw, they really do look like they're married here.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
Do you want to talk to this guy? So far, things on Dahna have proceeded according to plan. I feel honored to witness the final stages of an event generations in the making. I'm keen to see how it all turns out. We have one more thing here.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
I believe it.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgan too.
Didn't even occur to me, the Helgan and Helgan.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
Oh, wait.
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Okay. Well, yeah, it seems like, we gotta talk to everyone. So, do I have Shion in my party? I do. Okay. That's nice. Oh, wow. This is now our napping area. Hello. If you're feeling tired, I can offer you a place to rest. That is, if you don't mind sleeping in one of our hibernation chambers. I'm just kind of curious. Actually, nah. I don't feel like it. Feel free to come by whenever you need to lie down. It's not the most comfortable of lodgings, but you're always welcome. Oh boy. There's so many skits and everything that I keep forgetting what I want to talk about. I've forgotten several times. Wait. Oh, heal! Oh right, I remember now. So there was another difference about Renans actually. Renans could eat the fruit of Helgan and not have a problem, but Dahnans turn into astral energy. So that means that they must have kidnapped a whole bunch of Dahnan people who can use astral arts and essentially genetically changed them, so they are kind of different now. Either that or people with astral art manipulation, like Rinwell for example, would be less affected. So I'm not sure. You found me collapsed again and helped me back up? Well, I appreciate it. Thanks to you, I can continue to go about my research. Happy bottle. Okay. There's more people now. Did the Renans on Lenegus lose control? Wait, okay. Lose control of their Zugals? I suppose it's plausible. What with all the astral energy flowing through the place. In which case, the arts that were keeping them in line must have been disrupted. I doubt it was otherwise the work of the Great Spirit. I agree. It's hard to believe that such a massive consciousness could deliberately conceive, then carry out such a localized phenomenon. Ooh. There was another NPC over here. It's really awkward now. There was a lot more people. The spirit chanting plan will soon finally conclude as the Overseer reaches the end of its lifespan. After going into hibernation countless times to date, it's been a long time coming to say the least. What are we gonna do once the project is over and there's nothing left for us to research? We'll always keep observing as long as there are things worth watching. Once our time is up, whatever it is, we shall return to nothing. It's a fitting fate for the station and its inhabitants after being cast out into the cosmos. Wow, that is kind of depressing actually. And they're just like, yeah, shit happens. We can go to the upper level now. I wonder what's at the upper level. It is just this. What happens if I go? I can go. Interesting. Oh, okay. So this is probably where you have to end up at the upper level viewing deck. I mean, not gonna lie, this is probably one of the cooler places. You can see the entirety of space. You can even see what's happening there. You can see Rena and Dahna right there. Even Lennox in the middle. Damn, we're like, our ship flew way off. Oh, we get the Helganquil here now as well. The real people of Rena. Okay, now let's talk to our party members. We'll start with Kisara. How you feeling, girl?
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Dahnans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress.
And now we're all the same people.
I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
I thought would have
kept
helped
a pretty
her.
level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Dahnan is necessarily going to believe that either.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Dahnans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Dahnans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
She did a good job.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Man, good on Kisara for like figuring all this out. She could easily just stay conflicted, but she's like, I have a direction, I know what I need to do. Now to think about how we can all embrace each other's pain, as you put it. Oh, there's more people here. These are Dak Fazul's construction plan showing a central elevator shaft and multiple circular areas. Here we have... Wait a second. Oh, okay. I was like, there's only 2 people here? No, there's more people down here. Well, how are you feeling, Rinwell?
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dahnan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Dahnans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dahna anymore, right?
That is true.
I know it's not as simple as all that, but Dahnans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Dahnan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though.
She's probably the person that has the most
Dahna's
intersects,
will
so
feels
yeah.
so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dahna's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
There was something I was thinking. So we have like several other quests back at home, but I'll just talk to Rinwell first. I hope there comes a day when mages are just like anyone else in Dahna. Okay, but like, there are quests that I haven't finished. There are really difficult quests that seem like they're endgame. So I guess the endgame is gonna be like around level 65-ish. So the question I have is, if that's safe for endgame, are we expected to go back to Dahna at one point? And if that's the case, isn't Dahna currently being fired by a giant laser beam? How am I supposed to go back? Or if is that stuff safe for New Game Plus? Because if it is, I'm not doing it. The Overseer will in all likelihood remain with us for the time being, as its vital signs continue to show as stable. Despite their appearance, the biology is surprisingly close to us. Isn't that just utterly fascinating? Oh, that is interesting. They're biologically close to us, huh? The Overseer must be so pleased to be able to witness the transformation of Dahna before it passes on. He must be so happy to see all this stuff. It seems that when Lenegis was activated, no consideration was made for the safety of those in the residential quarter. Not that it matters. Once the plan is complete, Lenegis will serve no purpose. It's only logical that there will be more pressing concerns instead. Wow, he's like, all those people, all those quote-unquote Renans, yeah, fuck them. It measures astral energy fluctuation in Dahna and Rena. Oh man, these people are like long gone. They don't really care about anything anymore other than this plan. Barring the unforeseen developments that took place on Lenegis, everything has gone quite smoothly. Even if we were to notice such aberrations for ourselves, we would likely ignore them, as it's not our policy as observers to interfere. Oh, I wonder, are Dahnans still not given surnames of their own? As cruel of a tactic as it is, it's nonetheless an effective subjugation tool. But I suppose that we aren't all that different. Though grandiose sounding, ours are simply a means to identify an individual's formative background. Yeah, when you don't get like last name, if you don't get like more than one name, it's hard to really distinguish family.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum?
Oh yeah.
Once my memory started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
You freaking collapsed,
It was really
man.
that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together? I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad.
Dude, I'm bored.
Running
I'm bored of
away
the
from
story.
the
Just
truth.
get your shit together.
That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong. My way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about, all I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Good enough for me.
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah,
You're not
I think
built
it
for
does.
thinking too much, Law.
It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Yeah, that approach suits Law. I'll leave the big boy tricky stuff to you, and I'll do what I can on my end to help. Alright, Dohalim, how are you holding up? You were kind of panicking before.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Yeah, the past few exposition
Let's not delude
episodes were
ourselves.
quite something.
If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard
When you
pill to
say the
swallow,
other
man.
Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dahna, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dahna, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dahna, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Dahnans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck.
Gonna be difficult.
There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed, I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dahna peaceably.
Sure.
As the one and only blazing sword, I suspect the Dahnans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dahnan society without any bloodshed. That is why.
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
On the other hand of
Is it
law,
too much?
he's thinking so
No,
much.
Relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
That's high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Oh, I wonder how this is gonna end then.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
Yeah.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them.
Because I was a cursed child, you know?
Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dahna. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
Oh man, it fell on me twice.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Dahnan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to.
Oh, these are so cheesy.
I know that better than
not
most,
wrong, but
thanks to these
it's
thorns.
so cheesy.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you
She's
too,
Savior
you
Girl
know.
now. Wow.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Okay. I guess now we move on. I did want to get that line from Dohalim, but I guess
Is
not.
everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dahna's still in danger.
Your voice is echoing a little
I don't
bit,
care
man.
who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Heroic Alphen music. Are you ready?
Like Law said, if we have
Yes.
to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world, and it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
Gotta save the waifu.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena.
Oh right, that's
and
another
if Rena's
difference.
great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction,
The astral energy type between Dahnans and Renans.
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
while the main body resides in Rena.
Xion.
Oh, she smiled a little
If these
bit.
thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
I feel like we've said this before. Have we said this before?
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Maybe not. I thought they said something similar when they were gonna go to Lenegis.
Everett 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time.
He didn't want to talk one
It
last
wouldn't
time.
ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
Ooh boy. Back in our
minds are
party.
made up. Let's go give Hevrek 35 our answer.
Lenegis today.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis almost stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
Oh.
In any case, if we're truly going to
Never
make a
mind that.
difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Alright, I think that is probably good for today. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard like... before playing the game, I've heard some like negative things about the second half of the game specifically. Of course, I didn't realize that the game was gonna be split distinctly between 2 parts, the second part having its own opening. But I can kind of see why now, because like the plot kind of goes off the rails, and there's like exceedingly a lot of information that's just jammed down our throat. Honestly, I don't really have too much of a problem with it. I keep making jokes like, the exposition! But that is ultimately the truth of it. Hell, in this episode, I got into 1 fight, and that was just against some Zoogles. Everything else was exposition! There's so much of it. But honestly, it's getting pretty interesting. Things are really weird, but it is in a way where I'm like, oh, a lot of my questions are being answered. It's still really weird, but at least they're getting answered. Like the stuff with the Red Woman, things about the Thorn, more about Alphen's memories. Honestly, a lot of it was about the Red Woman, I want to say. And we're kind of getting like plot twist on plot twist about everything that's happening. I think the thing about Renans being just Dahnan stolen and like genetically modified was like, wait, what? Oh man, you're telling me that we're actually all people and we shouldn't have treated people differently? Yes. But I thought we were gonna go to Rena today, but it seems like that's not the case. I did mention this before, but like I thought we were gonna go back to Dahna to finish off some of these quests. Like here I have pretty decent number of quests left. We have like basically 4 quests relating to the pillars, like each of the 4 remaining pillars of light. We have one about books and one about like the Owl Forest, but I honestly I don't think I care enough to finish those quests. So I'm not gonna try to do them, to be honest. At least not go out of my way. But the other quests involving like the other pillars of light, the ones that seem like endgame bosses, originally I thought it was like, yeah, we can go back to Dan and do them, but if I can't, I'm probably gonna end up passing. Honestly, this game, I'll talk about my thoughts about this game as I think we're heading into endgame. I don't know how much longer I have, but it seems like clearly we're gonna go to Rena and do something with the Great Astral Spirit, which really, really does seem like the BBEG. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be the Red Woman, but no, this is, at least for now, it's like definitely shaping out to be the BBEG. So yeah, I guess maybe next time we'll go to Rena, but I guess you'll have to find out next time. And until then, I will be seeing you. See ya!